morning, dear children. A warm welcome to a new video on the chapter Organizing. This is the 5th chapter of Business Studies in grade 12. It's a very exciting topic and also very interesting for students who aspire to be managers in the corporate world. Now, let us discuss about the concept organizing. So, dear students, organizing essentially means a process which coordinates human efforts, assembles resources, and integrates both into a unified whole to be utilized for achieving specified objectives. Now, let us look into a definition of organizing. So, organizing can be defined as a process that initiates implementation of plans by clarifying jobs and working relationships and effectively deploying resources for attainment of identified and desired results, which are termed as goals. Now, organizing can be understood 1 as a process and 2 as a structure. We are going to discuss about the process in this video. However, we will discuss about organizing as a structure in the second video, which is part 2. Now let us look into the steps that are followed in the process of organizing. So let me list them down. The first step is called as identification and division of work. In the second step, we are grouping the jobs and creating departments. In the third step, we are assigning duties. In the fourth step, we are creating reporting relationships. Now, so you can see how these steps are arranged in a chronological order. Now, let us talk about the first step, which is identification and division of work. So, in the first step, it is the process of organizing, which involves identifying and dividing the work that has to be done in accordance with previously determined plans. The work is divided into manageable activities so that duplication can be avoided and the burden of work can be shared among the employees. Moving on to the second step, which is called as departmentalization. So activities which are similar in nature are grouped together. Such sets facilitates specialization. For example, framing, siding, painting, inspection, shipping. Now, let's move on to the second step, which talks about assignment of duties. Dear students, this is the third step. In this step, then, jobs are allocated to the members of each department in accordance to their skills and competencies. Moving on to the fourth step, which is called as establishing reporting relationship. In this step, each individual should also know who he has to take orders from and to whom he is accountable. Organizational structure is the outcome of this step. Now, let us come down to the importance of organizing and let me list down these importances. The first importance talks about benefits of division of work and specialization. The second importance talks about clarity in working relationships. The third talks about optimum utilization of resources. The fourth talks about adaptation to change. The fifth talks about effective administration. The sixth talks about development of personnel. The seventh importance talks about expansion and growth. So, let us explain these benefits in detail. So the first benefit that talks about division of work and specialization. In this case, organization makes clear division of work. Every job is assigned to the right person. The scientific analysis and classification of job results in specialization and its related advantages. The second importance, which is clarity in working relationship, and you'll be wondering how this is done. So, a good organization structure honors the principle of unity of command, which specify who is to report to whom. We have already studied this in your second chapter, Principles of Management. This is one of the principles which is laid down by Henry Fayol. It helps in creating a hierarchical order. Now you'll be wondering what do you mean by hierarchy. So dear students, it refers to the different levels of management in an organization. So let's move on. Hierarchical order, and thereby enabling the fixation of responsibility and specification to the extent of authority to be exercised by an individual. In the third point, we are going to talk about optimum utilization of resources. So dear students, organizing is an art, organizing is a skill. It leads to the proper usage of all material, financial and human resources. The proper assignment of jobs avoids overlapping of work and also makes the best use of resources. Avoidance of duplication of work helps in preventing confusion and minimizing the wastage of resources and efforts. Moving on to the fourth point, which talks about adaptation to change. Properly designed organizational structure is flexible. It can be modified according to the changes in the business environment. Moving on to the fifth point, which talks about effective administration. Organizing helps in effective administration by providing a clear description of jobs and related duties. This helps to avoid confusion and duplication. Management of an enterprise thereby becomes easy, and this brings effectiveness in administration. Now let me elaborate on the sixth point, which is called as development of people or personnel. And how does that happen? So dear students, organizing helps in development of people by delegation of work to subordinates. Effective delegation allows the manager to reduce the workload by assigning routine jobs to their subordinates. It also provides opportunity to the subordinates to utilize their talent. Now let's move on to the seventh point, which talks about expansion and growth. Organization provides the framework within which an enterprise can expand and grow. Through organization, management can multiply its strength. It is through a sound organizational structure that many small firms have grown and become big. The best example is in front of you. We are talking about Reliance bets on Jio to double the sales in the next 7 years. Thank you dear students. I'll catch you on a new video on organizing.